Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 1.10. In this video, we are going to talk about outlining and drafting the paragraphs you are going to write for your summative. So we've finished reading the play and it's time to start talking about the summative for A Raisin in the Sun. For our summative, you're going to be writing 2 paragraphs about a character of your choice, what their dream is, and a symbol that connects to this paragraph. So let's talk about how you are going to outline your paragraphs. The essay prompt, it's not going to be a full essay. Like I said, you're only writing 2 paragraphs. But the prompt you're going to be responding to is, how does the author use symbolism and characterization to make a point about dreaming for a better future? You are going to write about one of the characters in A Raisin in the Sun, a dream that they have, how the character overcomes obstacles to that dream, and a symbol that connects to the dream. So you get to choose one of the 4 main characters. Maybe you want to write about Ruth, or Walter Lee, or Lena, who's also called Mama, or Beneatha. So let's do a little bit of an overview of each character so you can choose which character you want to write about. Ruth Younger is in her 30s. She's Walter's wife and Travis's mom. And she's the practical one who often is seen ironing or cleaning, and she keeps the household running. She's trying to keep the family together and keep the peace. She is first introduced in the play at the bottom of page 27, and her dream is introduced on pages 87 to 89. A symbol for Ruth, you could look back to page 75, page 87, or page 94. So if you're interested in writing about Ruth for your 2 paragraphs, go ahead and explore these pages to start thinking about what is Ruth's dream and what's a symbol that connects to her and her dream. Here we have Walter Lee Younger. He is a man in his 30s. He likes to think of himself as the man of the house. He works as a chauffeur, meaning he drives other people's cars, and he doesn't think this is a good enough job for himself. He is Travis's father. He's Ruth's husband, Beneatha's brother. And he's first introduced on page 25. For his dream, you can look back at pages 33, 42, 73, and 95. Remember, Walter really wants to invest in a liquor store. He wants to be successful and wealthy so he can provide for his family and feel like a successful man. You get to choose what symbol most connects with Walter. Is it the check? Is it money? And go back to pages 26, 41, 70, and 74 to investigate symbols that relate to Walter. Next, we have Lena Younger, or Mama. She's in her early 60s. She's described as full-bodied and strong on page 39. She's Walter and Beneatha's mom and Travis's grandmother. Her dream you can see on pages 44 to 46. And a symbol that we've talked about for Mama is the struggling houseplant, right? So you can look back at pages 39, 40, and 52 if you would like to write about Mama for your 2 paragraphs. Beneatha Younger, I have to say, might be my personal favorite character. She's about 20 years old. She's Walter's sister. She's in college, so she is seen as really academic and studious. She's first introduced on page 35. Her dream, she is working towards medical school to be a doctor, right? And she also has a dream of connecting with her identity and her heritage. So we can look at pages 36, 50, 66, 67, or 76 to find Beneatha's dream. A symbol for Beneatha, you get to choose. Do you want to talk about her hair and the way that her hair changes throughout the play? And what does that symbolize? You could look at the Nigerian robes that she wears, or maybe medical school itself. Once you've chosen your character, you are going to fill out this chart in your packet. That includes some basic information about your character, what their dream is and how they're fighting for it, and what is a symbol that's connected to this character. So I've completed an example chart for the character of Assegai. He is not a character that you can choose from. He's not one of the main characters, but this is an example of what you should be doing for your character. So basic information, we know that he's a student, and that's how Beneatha met Assegai, is that they were studying together. He's been to Canada, but he's from Nigeria, and he's interested in Beneatha, right? His dream is progress in Africa, and some obstacles he has to overcome when he thinks about progress in Africa is the history, specifically of colonization, doubt that he's only one person and maybe he can't make some changes, And then you'll find a quote about the character's dream. So here's a quote from page 135 about how Asagai wants to fight the lack of literacy and disease that are in his village. And then a symbol chosen for Asagai is that long straight line pointing into infinity. That relates to Asagai's belief that progress never ends for humanity, and that we can make changes and see a better future. All right, so open up your packet to lesson 1.10, and you are going to choose your character. Which character will you write about? Mama, Ruth, Walter, or Beneatha? For question number 2, why did you choose this character? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? What's interesting about the character, or how do you relate to them? Question number 3, what is this character's dream? So we want you to include a quote, and make sure you include the page number so you can go back to that quote. To find a good quote, use your play, or there's also a document in the 1.10 folder on Schoology called Good Quotes that can help you get started. Number 4, why is this their dream? So why does Beneatha want to be a doctor? Why does Walter want to invest in a liquor store? Go back to the play and your reading questions for 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.7, and 1.9. This can help you and remind you about your character. Question number 5 that you're going to be answering. How does the character work for their dream? Do they change the way they try to achieve the dream? Do they ever lose hope? Do they change their dream itself? So this asks you to take a look at the character at the very beginning of the play in Act 1 versus the end of the play in Act 3. How has that dream changed, or how has the character changed? Question number 6 takes that another step further. What ends up happening to the character and their dream by the end of the play? What happens at the end of the play that is connected to their dream? So go back to the end of the play, Act 3, pages 131 to 151, and read your character's lines. What do they say? How has their dream changed? Question number 7 is, what is a symbol connected to this character's dream? What does the symbol represent? And again, use a quote with a page number that is about this symbol. So you get to choose which symbol do you want to write about. Pick one and write it here, and then use a quote from the play or the Good Quotes document. If you're having trouble coming up with a symbol that relates to your character, go back to lesson 1.3 that was all about symbolism. You can also look at the reading questions for 1.4 that talks about symbolism a little bit. And if you're still struggling, ask a classmate or ask me, and we can help you come up with a symbol. All right, and then questions 8 and 9 are going to, I don't know why it says 8 and 8, that should be 8 and 9, are going to ask you for your argument. So now that you've chosen your character, their dream, and a symbol, you are going to write, how does this symbol connect with the character, their dream, and or how they work for their dream? So we want you to be specific. Look back at the play. What does the character do or say about this symbol? Why is it important? And then this one is drafting a thesis statement. Your thesis statement is one sentence that includes your entire argument. So this is probably the most important sentence you will write. Your thesis statement should include who your character is, what their dream is, and a symbol that connects with them. You can use this sentence frame or outline to write your thesis. In A Raisin in the Sun, characters, so which character did you choose, Beneatha or Walter, Ruth or Mama? Their dream is, what is their dream? And Lorraine Hansberry uses the symbol of blank, what is the symbol, to represent whatever the symbol represents. So we'll show you what a thesis statement could look like with the example of Asagai. In A Raisin in the Sun, Asagai's dream is to bring progress to Africa, and Lorraine Hansberry uses the symbol of a geometric line into infinity to represent how progress never ends for an idealist. So if this sentence frame, if the outline doesn't work for you, that's okay. You can write your own thesis statement. Just make sure you include who your character is, what their dream is, and what symbol is connected to them and their dream. All right, so I want you to start outlining your 2 paragraphs in your packet. And then your should do for this lesson is to share your paragraphs with me as a draft, and I can give you feedback on them. And so in that way, your summative can be even better. So start working on that now, and then share your drafts with me, and I can give you some feedback.